friends. Yay! Okay. I had this when I did camp last year. We it was in a pop-up Facebook group, so these campfire chats were on Zoom. And so I had this really great, I'm just going to open my phone because last week I couldn't see you guys. Um it was really great because I had this so cute like content camp themed background. And it was so fun. And I was just like trying to set it up. And then I realized, oh, I can't do the background if I'm on Facebook unless I go into Zoom, set the background, and then go into Facebook and then screen share my Zoom. I said, never mind. It's too much darn work. So we're not doing it. Anyway, welcome, welcome. It's Ask B. It's campfire chat time. This means you get to come and hang out with me for one whole hour live. And we're going to talk about whatever's going on in your business, in your content, in your sales pages, in your marketing, in your audience, whatever's going on with you. Nothing is off limits. We just get to have fun and connect together. And since we are week 1 of camp, there's only 1 week left of camp. Friends, please do not forget that there are prizes for participating, and nothing beats just showing up intentionally. Hi, Angela. She says, I'm leaving to teach a dance intensive, but I wanted to say good morning and hello. Hello, I love you. Have a great dance class. Angela is an amazing dance teacher. For girlies, little girlies. If we lived closer together, I would have Belle in with Angela because it would just be so fun. Okay, is that gonna work? Maybe. We'll see. Um, and so let me just share some. Let me just share some while people pop on, and then whatever questions you have, you can just drop them. They are showing up for me today, which is just fantastic information. So I shouldn't have to jump between my phone and this. But 2 weeks ago, it gave me the first message, and then yep, it's already happening. It gave me the first messages, and then no more messages. It's okay. I've got it here. I can see you all, so you can still ask me questions. Morning, Steph. Glad to see you. Yay. We know that 6 months of focused efforts can set your business ahead by 5 years. We all know that, right? Please say yes to me. Just trying to prop my phone up here so I can see. Oh my lordies. You know what? I really don't like Facebook right now. It's really just giving me so much crap. So much crap. Bear with me, girly pops. So we know that 6 months of intentional efforts can put us ahead by 5 years, which is fantastic. We tend to underestimate what we're capable of in one day and then overestimate what we can do in a year, because a year is built on 365 days. And we think oh no, this isn't, I don't have time for this, I can't do this. And the next thing you know, it's August 7th and you're like, where did 2024 go? I too am wondering where 2024 went. I feel like I don't even remember the kids last half of the school year. And here we are, we're getting ready to go back to school. And I know some of our American friends are all their kids went back to school already. They're back in school this week. Ew. I'm sorry, but it's still summer. I know you guys get out earlier. You guys get out in May, but it's not summer enough in May for us. August is hot as balls. So it's still summer here. We're still in summer. I was speaking to one of my clients a week or two ago, and she was telling me about how she had this bill coming up. She's like, I have this bill. It's due tomorrow. And my husband and I, we weren't really prepared for it. And we still, we're still shy a little bit. So I was like, well, exactly how much are you shy? Tell me. So like we crunched the numbers. We did our little girl, well, we didn't girl math, we did real math. And I said, okay, so like, what do you want to sell today to like get that? Like, where's your level of belief that you can make that amount of money like today? And she was like, I can't, no. Mm-mm. So I was like, what if you sold like a one-on-one? Do you think you could sell a one-on-one today? And she was like, not today. And I was like, tomorrow then? She's like, probably not tomorrow. And I'm like, well, when, girl? And it was just this like, oh goodness, no, I can't do that today. Right? Just like that immediate, like, I can't. And it's not her, it's all of us. We've all done this. We've all let our brains say that we can't do things when we definitely can do things. Um, but we just like lose sight of our power and our abilities to create things, unfortunately, which is just so sad. Um, and so I just want to like challenge you with that because like you are capable of doing things. You are capable of signing a client today. Like if it's not today, which day is it? Let's pick a day that you can do it because it can happen anytime. But we sometimes feel like we're just passengers on this bus of life and something else is driving and it's like passive. It's happening to us and we have no control, and that's just not true. Like this is your business. You are the one driving the bus. It's your life. You are the one who's in control. Nobody else is in control but you. So, like, remember that, like, hey, I'm in control today. I decide what happens to me today. And no, we can't go and force people to hire us, but we decide how we show up, and understanding that the way you think and feel and act determines the results you get, right? Like, we're in control. Nobody else is doing it for us. It's all us. So we also know, like I said, 6 months of focus effort, 30 days of focus effort can set your business ahead. 2 weeks of focus effort can set your business ahead, which is why I'm referencing camp. Like, camp is a week in. It's okay if you didn't really participate as much as you wanted to. There's accountability threads for every day. Like, the more you show up, the more results you create. Like, you cannot show up so much to your best people that they're annoyed by you. Like, your best people are never annoyed by how much you show up. It's always like the whiners and complainers who are like, ew, why do you have to sell? Why do you have to show up so much? Like, wow, I'm not talking to you. Like, I am not speaking to you at all. I don't want to work with someone who's like that. I have a tickle in my throat. Sorry, ladies. Like, my best people are always so thrilled to hear from me. I can't show up enough. I can't email them enough. Like, they love me. They are so thrilled to see my face again and again and again because I'm giving them value. I'm teaching them. I'm giving them direction. I'm fun to be around. Like, they just love me. The same way if you like if like Beyonce or Taylor Swift like got your cell phone number and was like, "Yo girl, like I think we should be besties." And she was like texting you, you'd be like, "Text me all day." Like, I love it. Text me all night. I will not sleep. Remember those days where you'd like first falling in love with someone and you just stay up all hours of the night to talk to them? Like, I think of like my husband when we were first together. Oh my goodness. We would chat, like we would text until like 4 a.m. Like, what were we saying? Nothing important. Nothing that required me to exist on like 5 hours of sleep, but I did it. I did it for love. But like, I was never annoyed. I'm never annoyed by my husband. Well, that's extreme. That might be a little bit of a lie. But like, I'm mostly never annoyed by him. I'm mostly very happy to hear from him and like happy to have him in my life. So, like, your best people feel that way about you. Please show up more. Um, so I added some more audios to the trending audio thread that I created here. So if you're doing reels, like jump on them. One of them is Simone Biles audio. We all know that the whole world loves Simone Biles. When I grabbed it, it had like 2,400 uses. Um, use it. The thing about trending audios, girlies, and like when I did go viral, which you can buy go viral out of camp. It's in the workbook. You can buy it. It's just a standalone course now. You can go through it in your own time. And I like teach about reels and TikToks and idea pins, which is Pinterest version, like YouTube shorts, and like teach you how to make them. Because when I talk go viral multiple times, people always go viral and like ultra viral. But one of my tricks to going viral is using audios that are about to be popular but aren't popular yet. And that is all just me like going off of my intuition of like what I think is going to blow up. And so I like to grab things that are like I really love to grab things that are under like 5,000. And the reason that it works is because if you're early on a trend, when the trend blows up, your video will show up in that grid, that like 9 grid. Whereas if it's like there's one that's like ultra viral right now and it's literally just a finger snap. That's the whole sound, just one finger snap. So like it's going viral because it's so short and people are putting text on their screens. So you end up watching the video like 4 or 5 times just to read the screen. But it has like it had over 2 million views when I looked at it last week. You will never be on the 9 grid using something that already has 2 million views. You just will not. You want to be on the 9 grid on something that's like small. So I love like an under 5,000 views situation. And that's how I pick my audios. So like go play with them. Don't forget that if you're here, you can just ask me whatever questions you want in the chat and I will answer them. Something else I really wanted to address is I don't watch the news. We've been talking for 2 years now. Like I look at my memories every morning, mostly because I want to see my kids as babies. But sometimes I'm like, ah, fuck, you're smart. And I am able to like use my content from that bank, from my memory bank. And like it's been 2 years now that we've been like, the market is changing, the market is changing, the world is changing, things are shifting, things are changing. My little guy Noah turned 9 on Sunday. And on Monday, because my husband works Sunday, and he works 12-hour shifts, and we live 45 minutes from his job. So by the time he got home Sunday night, it was like it's late. So Monday, Noah says he wants to go to Wendy's for his birthday supper. They're on big Wendy's kicks. They're not getting kids meals anymore. They're big kids. They're getting like Dave doubles. Like they love it. So anyway, I don't watch the news. I hate the news. It makes my brain feel sad. But there's a big TV in the corner and the news is on. Always, every time we go, the news is on. And it was talking about how the stock market is crashing. Like major. Like we are getting 2008 vibes. And, you know, we're hearing a lot of people say that. It feels like 2008. Now, like I was kind of still a child in 2008. So I don't fully, like, I remember it. But I wasn't in a position financially to care. I was in university. I was working part-time job, like my measly few $100s every 2 weeks was not being impacted by the economy back then. But I remember like I was in university for medicine at that time. But my dad was in finance, and that's how I got into finance. And so, like, I remember my dad, like, watching the market all day. I remember my dad being on the phone all day to clients, being like, where is all my money? Because, like, everyone's investments, like, even the capital, was disappearing because the rates were just like eating into eating into everything. Like, it was a problem. And I remember people like themselves over it because they were just so panicked and stressed out and afraid that they were going to lose their homes and their cars and their families. And for some people, like, jumping out their office window from 20 stories felt like the only thing they could do because they probably had life insurance. And so they were like, this is how I save my family. I can't handle it. It's too much pressure. And like, I remember that. And I'm sure anybody watching this remembers this also. Like, this very intense, heavy thing that was happening. And so we're seeing a lot of experts and like experts in other fields saying this feels so familiar. And there are also some experts who you're going to see on TV who are saying everything's fine, it's okay, don't worry, it's not bad. It is bad. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be okay. It's not okay right now. What's happening right now is not okay. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be okay, because if we also remember that not long after 2008, when the housing bubble burst and everything went crazy, we then went into a time where there was a lot of money flowing. There was so much money flowing. People were making money hand over fist. And remember that during times like this, like I've said many times before, when the economy is bad, people's problems are sorry. My goodness. People's problems are exacerbated. Why? Because money is, we love money. We don't talk about badly about money around here. Like, we love money. Money loves us. We love making money. We understand that it is from God that we make money so that we can help his people, our families, our friends, the communities around us. Like, there are people in our own backyard who need help. And they're not going to get that help if it's not for us. Let me just go on a little money tangent here. A lot of society's wealth is held by men. And we know statistically, based on like surveys and reviews and analysis, that when women have money, they are more inclined than men, over 50% more inclined than men, to turn around and start handing it out. And like, that is even biblical. Like, if you actually read the Proverbs 31 woman, this girl has multiple streams of income. She has her own money. She does not ask anyone for shit. She doesn't ask anyone for advice. She doesn't ask anyone for permission. This girl has her own money. It says she sees a field, she checks it out, she decides, I like this field. She buys it with her own money. She turns it into a vineyard. She's making more money. She's making clothes and selling them. She is making so much money. Plus, she has servants and workers that she pays handsomely. Okay? So not only, which, like, we don't have servants anymore, but we do have employees and we do have people in our communities. Like, it's saying that she's making sure that other women in her house are taken care of. And like, when I say in her house, I don't mean just like people living in her home, like in her dwelling. I'm talking about people in her world, people in her vicinity that she would say are in my house. Like, when I think about this community, I think this is my house. Okay, people in her community are taken care of. Like, she is making sure that the oil in their lamps never goes out. They are warm, they are fed, they are clothed. So, like, let's say it again. She has multiple businesses. She's a businesswoman, okay? She doesn't work for someone else. The Proverbs 31 woman is an extremely successful entrepreneur. She's buying land, she's putting businesses on the land, and she's blessing her community. Okay, so we have not only a moral and ethical obligation to make as much money as humanly possible, which I've said many times. If you've ever done any money classes with me, I say this every time. You have a moral and ethical obligation as a woman in business to make as much freaking money as humanly possible, but you have a biblical obligation as well. Like, yes, please. Like, the business that you have is because you had a pressing in your heart from God telling you, this is your purpose. You need to go follow this. Bad people will tell you, not bad people, misled people will tell you that you should do it for free because that's the godly thing to do and you should just serve and give. And that is baloney, phony baloney. The Bible says that you have a bunch of money as a Proverbs 31 woman. You are making tons of cash and you are blessing those around you. Okay. When we are in a recession or a depression, more millionaires are made, more businesses start than any other time in the economy because people's problems are exacerbated, right? Again, we don't talk bad about money, but that doesn't mean that, like, we know for a fact that most marriages end in divorce because of money. Usually because of the disagreement about money. Money's not the problem. The way people view money is always the problem. And so, if we know that money can solve all of our problems, which money can solve all of your problems, there's not one problem on this great green earth that cannot be solved with money. Like, I'll wait. You may have a very random extenuating circumstance, but I'm going to wait for you to tell me what that is. Because, like, if your kid is sick with some super incurable rare thing, there's probably a doctor in a completely different country studying it right now and trying to get medical trials. You can hop on a plane. You can hop on a private plane so that your kid doesn't get infected by other people because planes are gross. I'm so sorry. I will probably wear a mask on a plane for the rest of my life. I do not know one time or one person who ever got on a plane. And you got to remember, I'm coming from the middle of nowhere. So when I get on a plane, it is for a long time. I do not know one person or one time of myself that I got on a plane and I flew somewhere and within like 2 days, I'm not suddenly sick. And same with coming home. Because you're breathing other people's air. It's recycled air on airplanes. We're all breathing each other's breaths. And that is so gross to me. I've never been more grossed out. Some things after COVID, I have just... We used to touch sticky menus at restaurants and be like, this is fine. Why is it sticky? What's the stickiness from? No, I won't. I have a little bit more standards, a little bit higher standards for my health now. So anyway, you can fly a private plane to this country to meet with this doctor to save your child. If your marriage is in shambles, you can hire the best marriage counselor or the best divorce lawyer that there is. Your pet, your family, whatever, every problem can be solved if you have more money, including problems of the world, because money in your hands means more money goes to the people. One of my girlfriends, who was it? I can't remember. I'm sorry if it was you. If it was you, raise your hand. One of my girlfriends shared a post yesterday, and it was talking about like capitalism And how this guy, it was written by this guy, she shared it. And he was like, I just bought this plane. And like one of the big comments that I got was, wow, you could have like fed so many people instead of buying this plane. And he was like, but I did feed so many people by buying this plane. Like the workers at this company got to feed their families. The workers at the upholstery company who came in, like they custom did all my upholstery in my plane. Did they not feed their family because of me? If I didn't buy the plane and like ask for all this stuff, like who was going to? And like that's the difference. That is the difference of like treating people that have money uh, and like what they do with it as like demons in this world versus like seeing the lives that you help by just like buying normal stuff. And well, not that buying a plane is normal, but like buying stuff that still pays their employees. Like we always say like, oh, like shop local, like la la la. There are still people who work at not local establishments that are still trying to get their bills paid. Like there's still people working at the major chain grocery store, even though the grocery store owners are super greedy. I'm not talking about like small business. I'm talking like the CEO of like the major grocery stores. Like we're seeing so much that they're just like greedy guts, like just taking millions of dollars bonuses, but there's still like a person, a mom who's working there bagging groceries who's trying to feed her family. So like we have to put things like that in the proper perspective. The other thing is like we put so much emphasis on like the ways we give back and if it's right and if it's wrong. And we're told that the best thing we can do is give our time. Right? Volunteer your time. That's the best thing you can do. Give your time. I promise you it's not. Give your money. That's the best thing you can do. But you can't give what you don't have, babes. Like, we got to get out there and make the money so we can give it back out. Right? Like, we're talking 5 figures in tithing. And I don't always subscribe to just like giving to your church. Like, let me just say that. Like, I have a friend. I have like a close friend. I know her in my real life. I've hugged her. I've held her children. Like, I know her in my real life. Her husband is from Chad. And I've talked about this before. Her husband is from Chad in Africa. And there is a lot of problems in Chad with respect to homeless children. I don't know what's going on over there, but a lot of parents are dying and getting killed. And these kids are living in the street. And so they have like 5 kids together, and they decided to build an orphanage down there for it's particularly boys. A homeless girl is not going to be homeless for long down there. Probably very much so for the wrong reasons. But homeless boys are in the streets, like sleeping, like tucked up under cars and in alleyways, just trying to survive. And there's a lot of them. There's a huge population of these young boys who have no family and nowhere to go. And it's quite violent there. Like she told me a story about how this like little guy, this man came out and saw this little guy like sleeping by his car, and the man just beat the crap out of him just because he was sleeping by his car. And he was like 9 or 10, this child. So it's horrific what's happening down there. And so they're building this orphanage for these young boys. What happened though is people started showing up with babies that were on their deathbeds who didn't have parents. And so they have a ton of babies that they were never prepared for, like never had diapers, never had formula, don't have baby clothes, didn't have pediatricians, that are down there that were just like showing up from an uncle or a grandparent or a neighbor being like, we have no idea where the dad is and we found the mom dead. Every couple of weeks this is happening. Some of these babies are so emaciated because all they've had is whatever water the person that found them could give them. And we know the babies aren't supposed to have water. They have had so many babies die in this orphanage just because of the conditions of where they are. It's horrible. And it was not very long ago that France came in and grabbed a bunch of these children to adopt them out. But what happened was they just grabbed any children, not homeless children, and they ended up stealing a bunch of kids that had families and bringing them to France and adopting them out. And so now no one globally is allowed to adopt a child from Chad because there's a little girl named Jasmine, and every time I can, we send money because of Jasmine, because I tried to get her 2 years ago. I tried to get Jasmine. She was a baby. She's still a baby, but she's like 2 now. And so sometimes our tithe goes to them. It goes to their orphanage. They're traveling. They're trying to get pediatricians. They just got like 3 babies that they think have malaria. So they took them to the hospital to try to get them like malaria vaccinations. Because obviously malaria is a big deal down there. So like sometimes I tithe over there instead of tithing to our local church. Sometimes my tithing looks like paying for field trips for the kids in my kids' classes, or jackets or boots. Like we make sure. I remember last year, like Oliver's going into grade 5 now, so like grade 4, grade 5 is kind of when they stop like being warm in the winter. Like they want to be cool instead of warm. And so like I remember Oliver coming home and saying, this girl, I don't think she has a winter jacket. Like she never wears it to school. I don't think she has one. I live in Canada. It gets so cold up here. And so I had to contact the teacher and be like, do you know if this child has a jacket? Because if she doesn't, I'm going to go buy her one. She does have a jacket. She did have a jacket. She just was too cool to wear it. So that was a whole thing. But like there are people in your own backyard who are going to need help. And you probably need help first. We're always going to help ourselves first. Like I'm sure that you have bills to pay, and like your kids are growing up and they need things, and medical and dental and all these things. I'm looking at Noah, like he's 9 now. That boy, he's only got a few of his adult teeth like fully grown in, and they are snaggly. He's going to need braces. I can tell just by looking at him. He's going to need braces. His 2 front teeth are like goofy. They're so like goofy, like from Mickey Mouse. They are so far apart. So far apart. He's going to need braces to fit the rest of his teeth in. Pardon me. Oh, someone's here. It's Noodle. Can I go see Finland? Yeah, you can. He's probably at camp again, though. Our next door neighbors had 3 kids, and my kids played with them every day, and they moved last week, and now my kids are like, what do I do all day? I have no one to play with, and it's so upsetting. And so, like, yes, we're pushed to volunteer with our time, but if you can volunteer with your money, you can do way more. I use this example many times when I would do, like, the money workshops that I have done in the past, where we talk about, like, let's pretend, like, your kid's school, or, like, let's use a kid's school. I've used the church before, but, like, let's say the school. Doesn't matter. Use whatever example you want. But they're like, okay, we need a new roof, everybody. We really need help with this new roof. Like, we're desperate. The water's leaking everywhere. The kids are getting soaked. There's mold. Help, help, help. And so you're like, amazing. I'm going to go volunteer. And everybody has the same idea. I'm going to go volunteer. And so they show up. Now picture me. Picture me with work boots and a hard hat and a tool belt. It's ridiculous. I could never. That's not true. I could. I'm very handy. I just would never. Especially getting on a roof. I'm scared of heights. I'm only 5 feet tall. I don't like to be at high places. So everybody shows up and they are ready, rearing to go with their cute little tool belts, and they are ready to put on this roof. And they're standing around in the parking lot waiting for direction. And guess what? Everybody decided to volunteer their time and nobody decided to volunteer their money. So you're all standing there. There's no lumber, there's no nails, there's no shingles, there's no insulation, there's nothing. How are you supposed to put a roof on if you have no supplies, but you need money to buy the supplies? Money solves all the problems. Money solves more problems than volunteering your time. More people will become millionaires during like this next 12 months or more than ever before, because people are going to see those gaps in the market where people are struggling most. They're going to step up and say, I have the solution for you. And because people's pains are exacerbated, they will pay. Like there's money happening here. There's always money flowing in the economy. I've talked about this before. People are just way more selective about the things that are paining them with respect to what they want to buy. We, a couple of months ago, booked a trip to Orlando. We leave in like 30 days. We leave on the 7th of September. We are flying. 5 of us. Oliver's 10 now. According to Disney, he's an adult. He's 10. We got a 3-bedroom condo on the golf course. And 3 nights ago, we bought tickets to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Just that party from 7 p.m. till midnight cost us $1,000. Now, I'm not saying that to like flex and be like, oh, I spent $1,000 on Mickey. That was a priority to us. Because our usual everyday problems now look different because of the economy. The summer is when my husband's work goes into shutdown. He works at a power plant, which means everybody is working like 6 days on, 1 day off, 12-hour shifts. That's not exactly his schedule, but that's the easiest way to explain it. His would be like, because he works days and nights, it rotates a little differently, but that's basically what it looks like for months. So for us, our pain is that we want to be together as a family, which yes, we've gone to the beach and done a couple of things here and there this summer, but we're still not away. Like I'm still working when we do that because I'm not scheduling my time off for that. I can just work in the mornings like I already do in the summer and still have all afternoon together. I have already scheduled off my whole week to go to Florida. And so like for us, that's a priority. Like being together as a family is the priority. Those Mickey tickets sell out every year. Like most of August is already sold out. And the Friday, for some reason, that we're there is sold out, but none of the rest of September was sold out. Not that we would go on Friday. Anyway, it goes till midnight, and then we get on a plane at like 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. And then, obviously, October 31st is sold out. October 31st is the most expensive. It's $200 a person. When we booked it, it was $129 American a person. There is money flowing, but people are prioritizing their pains differently. Like everyone has the same pain. When the economy is bad, all of those pains just like get reprioritized. Like this is worse now. That's worse now. For me, things like personally, I would be like, do you know what? I'm going to worry less about eating super healthy. I'm going to worry more about like cutting grocery costs. I had to throw away 6 mangoes the other day. I bought them at Costco and they never went soft. And I was like, this is weird. And John was like, I bet you they're rotten. And so finally, after a couple of days, I'm like, I'm just going to cut into one because I don't understand why they're still hard as rocks. And I cut into it and he was right. It was rotten inside. As soon as I cut into it, you could like smell the alcohol. It was gross. It was gross. The kids were so upset. I also was upset. So I just had to throw them out. We never got to eat any of them. I had to throw them out. Like strawberries, a bundle of grapes, $15, one bunch of grapes. My kids are inhaling them in 20 seconds. Like, so we're reprioritizing a little bit. Of course, we're still going to eat healthy, but like, if I don't know for sure that we're going to eat it, I'm not for sure that we're going to buy it. Like, I'm just unwilling to like throw away fruit because it went rotten before we got to eat it all. That's me. I know, and everyone's kind of got their own things. So when it comes to your marketing, that's probably important to talk about. Like, we have to understand what people's pains are currently, not what their pains are, not what their pains were last year, 2 years ago, when the economy was good and people were making a lot of money. Like, we have to look at what their current pains are. And we get to do pain point marketing ethically. Okay? And that just means talking about people's current realities without making it worse. We're allowed to shine a light without making it worse. Like, we're allowed to let people know that we understand them without making it worse. And the problem with a lot of pain point marketing is, this is your pain, and guess what? It's going to get worse. Like, we would tell people it was going to get worse if they didn't pay us. Like, I didn't do that, did I? Maybe I did. Who knows? I don't think I did. But we like let people know that, like, if you don't do this, it's going to get worse. And that's just not true. Like, it might get worse, but we can't tell people that their lives are going to be worse if they don't hire us, but we can tell people that their lives will be better when they hire us, because that's true. Like, every single person that's watching this live, on the replay, today, next year, whenever, like, you're solving a problem. That's all businesses. We're solving a problem that someone has. So it's silly to make it seem like people don't have the problem that you help with. Because then what do they need you for? Nothing. They're not going to hire you. If you treat them like the problem that they have doesn't exist, what are they here for? They're just going to go to someone else. Like, you're allowed to acknowledge people's pains. You don't have to make it more painful. You do have to just show them like what the next step is for them. And for all of you, that next step is hiring you. Based on like what I see when I scroll, though, I think that more people are kind of like missing that reprioritization of pain when they're speaking in their content. Because remember, yep, everyone's pains got reprioritized. That doesn't mean that people don't need your thing anymore. That means that the people that do need your thing may have changed. It's not that there's no people. It's that there may be different people. So we have to make sure we're speaking to those different people. The people who went, like, I'll use myself for example, like content marketing. If you're not making the money you want to be making with your content and the way you market, not hiring me is not the answer. Like, that's your problem. The solution is to hire me. Okay? In the past, there have been people who've been like, do you know what? I'm just going to keep my head down and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm just going to hope for the best that, like, the floodgates open and people start coming in, and I'm just going to do my own thing and I'm not going to hire Brittany. I'm going to figure this out. Cute. That's fine. I'll be here when you're ready. Don't worry about it. With the economy changing, people's buying habits changing, people seeing their bank account shrinking, more people are going to be like, no, okay, I tried it on my own. Things are getting dire. I need to pull it together and hire Brittany if I want to make a real change here, because I cannot continue trying to figure it out on my own. I cannot continue going down this road. Something has to change. So I'm going to get my situations in order so that I can hire her, whatever that looks like, so that I can get the help that I need right now, because doing it on my own is not sustainable anymore. And that means the people that I'm talking to is a little bit different, right? The people that you're talking to have realized that doing it their own way or doing it all alone is not working and it's not sustainable anymore. Like, they are ready to get help with it and actually get results. Like, we're not here to convince anybody to get results. Like, if you don't want to make more money, you don't want to sign more clients with your content, don't come over here. That is going to happen when you work with me. If you are tired of banging your head against the wall and wondering what the fuck to say to get your audience to hire you, and stop gaslighting yourself that it's just the economy that's bad. Yeah, the economy is bad. More people will become millionaires during this economy. You get to be one of them. You will not be one of them if you keep saying things like the economy is bad, so people aren't prioritizing the pain that I help with. So I'm just going to wait for the economy to shift and then they'll hire me again. That's not the time. This is not the time. This is not the time for that. This is the time for you to get louder, bolder, and like more authoritative with what you do, because your ideal client is saying, I'm done with this crap and I am ready for a change now. I want happiness. I want joy. I want ease. I want peace. And I want it now. Not later. Not when the economy is already going back up and everyone already is breathing that sigh of relief and they already feel better. I deserve to feel better in the worst of times. Feeling better is not a treat yourself because the economy is good. Right? And I'm speaking as your ideal client. I deserve to be happy, peaceful, at ease, joyous, prosperous, abundant in love, in health, in wealth, in finances, in all of those things, in relationships. I deserve that in the worst of times. I do not have to subscribe to, well, it sucks for everybody. It doesn't have to suck for me. It doesn't suck for everybody. More people are becoming millionaires than ever during economies like this. Your ideal client does not have to continue to suffer just because it feels like everyone's suffering. Like, use that in your marketing. Like, adopt this mindset that we're talking to people who see the value in the results that you give. This is not the time for you to hold back. This is the time for you to get loud. I feel excited. That makes me feel excited. If you need help with this, come over here. I can help you. Like my client Jen she just signed 5 mini offers, sold them out. She only made 5 mini offers, doubled her audience size in like 5-6 weeks of us working privately together. She's been stuck for 3 years. She said, I was stuck and stagnant for 3 years. Like, started my business, wasn't making very much money, like audience very small. And now she's like showing up bigger, better, bolder. I'm helping her with her content. I'm helping her map out her offers. She's doubled her audience size. She's selling mini offers, which was the first thing that she wanted to do. She did a workshop. She had plenty of attendance. She's booked lots of sales calls. She's booked more sales calls than anyone I know in the last like week and a half. Like, she's killing it right now. We didn't do something magical. She's just being herself more. Like, we're unlocking who she is in this industry. And Like, she's making money because of it. That's the whole point. That's the whole point for all of you. So, like, I have lots of ways we can work together. I may as well just say them because we only have like 8 minutes left. You can join the 10K formula. It is on demand group program where I walk you through the foundation of growing your business. So if you are making like $0 to $5,000 a month, this is probably where you want to go. It's $250 a month, or it's $2,500 for the year. Every Thursday morning, we get together for 90 minutes for group coaching. And we are talking about, like I said, the foundations of business. It never changes. Doesn't matter what business you are. Brick and mortar, online, service, products, doesn't matter. You need to grow an audience with the right people. We do that through your marketing, your content, your marketing, the words, the way people consume you. You nurture those people with that content. It's all content based. You nurture your people with that content, giving them love, giving them value, creating community and connection. And you sell to those people. Wow, what a concept. Like, content should be a high level conversation, and it feels like people treat it as a low level, like a low hanging fruit situation. Your content is the difference between your ability to sell something that's $5 and something that's $50,000. And that's your content. Your content makes the difference. It's the difference between making $1,000 a year and like $10 million a year. It's all your content. So, like, what is your content saying? What is it doing? How is it making people feel? How is it positioning you? How is it growing the people that love you? How is it adding more people into your world? How is it converting them? So we talk about that. And then you get access to like they all got access to AI mastery as a gift from me, which is so fun. We're all loving that. And it's just a really great community. It's very collaborative. It's very loving. Like, there are just lots of wonderful, amazing women in there, and you can be a part of it. It's $250 a month or $2,500 for the whole year. There's a great workbook. The trainings are really short, like 10, 15 minutes or less. And it's just so fun over there. If you want one-on-one support, which this is where like the rubber meets the road. This is where we are like high intensity, high momentum, like massive traction. I have 2 options for that right now. One is a 3-month intensive. We're going to do a full business audit, looking at your offers, at your content, at your messaging, your marketing. Those are all content. And we're going to audit them. Like, what's working, what's not working. How are we going to set you up for the greatest success for the rest of this year by building out what I like to call a money map, where we reverse engineer your income and revenue goals into offers and a marketing plan. We meet 3 times a month for 30 minutes where we are moving quickly. You are implementing, like you are running for 3 months straight. And like, don't be overwhelmed. Burnout comes from your mind, not from your actions. And when you have a plan of action, following the plan does not create burnout. It creates traction that feels good. Like easy momentum. That's what we are all about. It's 1997. If you want to have a conversation about it, we can. If you're like, no, bitch, I want this, I will put the link in the comments after I like close this out, and you can just go buy one. It's available to you. The other is a 6-month mentorship. Okay. Like I said earlier, 6 months of intentional effort can set your business ahead by 5 years. So, wherever you want your business to be in 5 years, imagine that we did that together over 6 months. Again, we're going to do a business audit. I want to know what's going on in your business. I want to know what's going on in your personal life. I want to know what your income goals are. I also want to know what your lifestyle goals are. Like, how much do you want to be working? How can we build the most traction without like struggling and like dragging through every day? Again, burnout comes from not having a real plan, it comes from overthinking. We meet 3 times a month for 45 minutes, and we are doing marketing, we are building offers, we are scaling your business. This is for multiple six figures in a 12-month window. Okay. We are implementing together. We are assessing at every step together. We are tweaking and pivoting together so that you are building a well-oiled money-making machine that works for you with ease. You are the authority. You are attracting new clients every single day. You're attracting new followers every single day. People are lining up to hire you. People are excited to throw their wallets at you. You also get access to the membership for the whole year as a gift and whatever other workshops that I'm doing. And that is $8,000 or $1,500 a month. That one I do want us to have a conversation about. So if you want to do that, like, let's book a sales call. I'm not going to pretend it's not a sales call. This is where people kind of get wonky, where they say, like, it's a free coaching session or it's a strategy session. Listen, you're a CEO. I'm a CEO. You are bringing your business to me because you know that I can help you with it. We are sitting down and we are having a conversation to determine if we are a good fit to work together. Like, let's not pussyfoot around it. We are having a conversation to determine if you, as a CEO, want to make a business investment into the growth and success of your business with me or not. Plain and simple. We're business. This is business. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, 6 months, one-on-one mentorship, you get access to everything that I'm working on. I don't hold back anyway. The girls in the membership see everything that I'm doing. I like everyone to see what I'm working on because it's so easy to just see someone be like, oh my goodness, I just put this thing out and I made $1 bajillion. Okay. Have you ever seen someone do it from birth? Like from the birth of the idea? No, my clients get that every single time with me. And so, yes, you're going to move fast. Yes, you're going to build a lot of momentum, but over a 6-month window where we are like, look, it takes 30 days to build a habit. It takes 90 days to build a lifestyle. And then it takes 6 to 8 months for that lifestyle to create massive traction. Whether you are learning how to play the piano, whether you are trying to lose weight, whether you are trying to be a bodybuilder, whether you are trying to like get better at soccer, whether you're trying to grow your business, it's going to take that 6 to 8 months of intentional effort before you start seeing those efforts pay off. And so that's why I love a 6-month mentorship, because I am there when we start to see the fruit of your labor and see that massive traction happening. Because that's where a lot of people, once that traction starts to happen, a lot of people panic and they start to pull back. So I'm right there with you still to help you stay the course and not panic and not pull back and hold the vision and hold the capacity and hold the energy so that you are setting yourself for success over and over and over and over again. Learning these skills never leave you. If I decided I didn't want to be a business coach and marketing consultant anymore, I could sell anything. I have been in sales my whole life. I've never not sold. Even as a child, I've been in sales. That is a skill that I can use my whole life. I can sell anything. I could go into real estate. I could go back into stocks. I could go anywhere with this skill and make a ton of money. Anybody else can too. Anybody else can too. Learning marketing and sales will never not pay you. It's not something that you like won't need anymore. Like it is a thing that you can always lean on to make sure you get paid. No matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the world is doing, no matter what you're selling, those skills will always pay you back. So I will put the links to the membership, which I'd love to see you join. We have a call tomorrow. Get in today. Join us tomorrow. It's amazing. You're going to love it. It's going to blow your mind. You'll be able to jump into AI mastery as well. 3-month intensive, $19.97. 6-month mentorship, $8,000. And if none of those are on your cards right now, do camp. We've got another week of camp. Do the accountability threads. Like, buy the book. It was $47. If you didn't buy the workbook, the hand guide, the camper hand guide, buy it. It is worth its weight in gold. I pinky promise. It is so valuable. I teach so much marketing and content in the book. And like, I know it's 105 pages, but the font's kind of big. Like, you could read it in an hour. Do it. Do it with the group here. Do it on your own. Do it over and over and over and over and over again. Like, let it pay you. Everything that you do with me, even these sessions, if you come and you ask me questions and then you go and implement the answers, you will make money. Like, let me get you paid. Because you're amazing. Like, these are great resources for you. Like, please, girls, have fun. Infuse fun back into your business. Infuse fun back into your life. And like, I just love you all. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week. And like, if you have questions, you can always ask them here in the comments. You can make your own post in the group. You can DM me, whatever you want, whatever you need. I am here for you. I love you. This has been great. I just rambled the whole time, but that's fine. And I will see you all next week for another one. Toodles.